Hello, everybody. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm excited today.
I'm excited too because I love your hair.
I just after a long time, this is the longest I've had it, probably about 6 years.
Really? Oh my God. Well, you always wear a baseball hat or some like cool hat on. So,
I do. I love my hats a lot. And then I went through my own process, and I was like, "So what am I gonna do about this hair? Because I haven't grown it this long." So I'm like, "Oh, let's side shave it."
it's awesome. I love it.
All right. Well, today we want to talk about visibility.
Uh-huh. I like it.
Uh, how do you feel about visibility? What does it mean to you from your perspective?
Well, there's a couple of different things that show up for me with visibility. One is, obviously, the playing field around, the external world. The other is how that external world kind of reflects and reacts with myself as an individual, right? Like how visible do I make myself out to the world? And then there's also the how visible are things to myself within my own awareness, my own visibility. Sort of like the things there's things that there's things that you don't know, and then there's things you don't know that you don't know them. Like there's a lack of visibility there, even within your own self.
Yes.
And that's where the subconscious loves to play. And that's my favorite space. So that's what I think of it. But what does it mean to you?
I want to say for myself, first off, is embracing the unknown because at every given moment or day, there's a new aspect of myself that I'm like, holy shit, that's
Well,
scary
hello.
and great. And so I want to keep the unknown facet in there so I can keep growing with it. But also, it's just me being entirely myself, the good, the bad, the shadow, the ugly, all the trauma out on the table without any masks.
So, visibility, I love the question of like, what do you want people to know about you? Like what aspect or facet of yourself that you wish to be visible?
I mean, I'm not really in it for people to know something about me. I feel like that to me is like off-brand. My body was like, eh.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not like a billboard that says like, "Hi, my name is Z and I'm a Scorpio and I like long walks on the beach." Um, it
Get it.
doesn't
I
have
get
to
it.
be that, it doesn't have to be that superficial. It could just
No,
be a
it's
facet
not.
of yourself that you're like, I'm really proud of this. I love this aspect of self.
Ooh, I would have to say honestly, and from what I just said before, like if I have a moment where I'm embracing myself no matter what it is, and I
Mhm.
allow that to be seen by anybody, that's a proud moment.
That's a what?
It's a proud moment.
Proud moment. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Visibility is an interesting thing, and I have to say, like, the last probably about 3 weeks, it's been punching me in the face a little bit. I've been like,
Really?
okay, okay, so body, do we have capacity to be seen more?
Can I hold this vibration? Can I hold
Oh,
this?
man.
Well, I think the topic is perfect because I don't like to be visible very much. I love to just kind of hang back. I'm a behind the scenes kind of gal, not only like, oh, and it's so funny. I actually used my behind the scenes as my name, not even realizing I was even going to say that on this show. But like I think that there's aspects of people where we really like our privacy and like to just kind of not have to be accountable to something out there because it's the accountability is within myself. So I wonder if that's a piece of it too.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I want to stop and say for yourself, is that just a natural facet of who you are? Doesn't mean you're behind the scenes. That might just be like your embracement.
Yeah, girl, I'm a back office at a big, like I'm in a leadership position, but I mean, it's operations, and I'm like, y'all just be the face. I'm gonna be back here. Don't bother me. I got my stuff to do. I got my thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's my comfort zone to be like in a show like this. This is really, with putting ourselves out there and talking about our personal lives on the internet is very like that's a piece that like that is not a natural thing. Like you got to really work to overcome that. Um,
Deeply. I'm gonna say for me, deeply.
and is it the stuff that makes you uncomfortable that you're like, I'm going to really I'm going to like push that away, lack of visibility?
Absolutely not. I'm like, Wow, I'm
I
gonna
must spit my drink out. I was not expecting that answer. I was like, yeah, uh-huh. That is not where you went.
no, no. Generally, I'm like, wow, that's uncomfortable. I'm gonna lean towards it.
Nice.
That's kind of more like my natural format. I'm like, ooh, that was a little bit rough. And also, I want to see if I can have my body understand. I always like go back to my body because that's like my center point, my
Hmm.
gravity point. My
Hmm.
soul aspect is anchored into that, so I want to always communicate with that facet. Um, really, do I have the capacity for that? Really,
Mm.
can I? And there's definitely been plenty of times where I haven't. I have not had that.
But I love the fact that you say, like, when it comes to the work, especially the inner work, you're
Yeah.
all in the way that I'm all in. Like, there is not a stone that I have uncovered. Well, maybe, I don't know, but I try not to. Like, I really dig deep and I really do the work, and I'm really like fascinated by the stuff that lurks in the shadows, but only within myself. Like, I don't really want to be like, guess what? Here's my biggest insecurity, and have that be like on a first date. Are you kidding? No, there's a looking good.
Yeah, I definitely more into that route. I'm like, if it's unknown, I've been like that since I've been little though. So it's not since I was little. So it's not like something that's unfamiliar.
Uh-huh.
There were definitely periods of time where I shut down, I hid. The camera was a pretty intense thing for me because I had abuse around cameras and being videotaped.
Oh, wow.
So like to even start to come out on a camera was like layers and layers and layers. And then also, can I hold my own judgment with it?
Oh,
And also,
yeah.
can I hold everybody else's judgment if
Yeah.
it comes flying at you? Because naturally, if you're going to be public, there's going to be something flying at you, right?
Yeah. But you know what's really interesting is I think the criticism is more within our own self than of anyone else,
Sure. Oh,
observing
absolutely.
and having a comment to be like, oh, you don't look great or whatever. It is all our own criticism. So it's like once we get past our own negative self-talk,
For sure. For sure.
then, gosh, visibility becomes a little bit easier.
It becomes a little bit exciting. And then whatever is coming in, your body's like, that's cool. I appreciate your perspective. It's not mine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I never told you this, but I actually, during the 2007 presidential debate, like presidential campaign, I had actually put together like a text messaging shortcode campaign and started pitching it to CNN and all the networks. And they were like really considering like buying this program. And the notion of me being on camera on CNN during the CNN YouTube Republican debates in Sarasota, Florida, when that reality came to be, and I was like terrified of being on camera, and I was like,
Yeah,
and I pushed it so like I wish I knew you back then because like I would now understand when we repel things in our life, like our nervous system is really doing that. And so,
for sure.
it's been all those years of peeling back the layers to say, can I be visible again?
Yeah, it's a huge question. It's a huge question for everybody in your own perspective. Again, these are our perspectives, and I'm always going to encourage everybody to take a deep dive into themselves and see what that is for them. And maybe people don't want to be visible, and that's a-okay. It could be just in it could be visibility within self because that was a good majority of my work for a long time was like, how many parts of myself can I see? And also led me into diving in much deeper into can I be visible within myself? Can I show up as myself no matter who I'm around? Can I be stable in my body and who I am and what I represent, even when I can feel judgment, when I can hear it, when energetically, like that's definitely there. And it's taken some time to really like for my body to be like, yeah, I'm stable enough to do it. And sometimes definitely have to go through my own stuff again. Take a look. What's the deeper layer here? Unravel it, align it, and then it gets easier and easier.
Oh, for sure. It just, especially for someone that can sense other people's emotions, like the way that you're able to do so, and how the rest of us are all like, I'm learning it, I'm getting better at it every day. But I think when there's other people's judgment, I mean, it's more like their own judgment. They're projecting it on other people. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do we separate that from like our own negative self-talk to the stuff we're receiving from other people? And like, how do you sift through that? Because all of that has to go into how we feel we are projecting ourselves out to the world.
Oh, totally. And I have to say projection. That's the next thing. Projection. How does that feel to you? How does it feel in your system? Even just that word.
Projection. Um, Optimistic. Optimistic that I'm
I love
projecting the right image, which is probably a facade of like looking good, and I'm just gonna hide like I do so well behind the scenes. How's that for an answer?
Thanks for tea.
No, no, there's no diva. By the way, I love your mug.
Yeah, thank you so much. A dear friend gave it to me. As
What a
in
nice friend who gave that to you.
Yeah, projection is an interesting one because there's several different perspectives and sides you can see what projection is, whether it's you see a projection on a TV screen from a person, and then you realize that you also have a projective standpoint in how you perceive what you do, how you talk, how you are naturally, and how does that want to be out in the world? What does that look like? And then there's many layers to that because if I'm projecting judgment, obviously it's my own judgment. I needed
Right.
to take a look at that. If I'm projecting something like blame or something like that. Now, these are really easy now mechanisms in my system to be like, oh, look at me. I'm being a judgy little bitch. You know? I'm like, I will own that because, yes, I have a very human existence in a human body who
I
perceives.
love that you just said you're gonna own being a judgy little bitch. Okay, because I'd be like, I'm not gonna say it, but I am it.
Yeah, no, I'll claim it. I'll claim my insecurities too, because I have them. Again, I'm in a human body. So for me to be like, no, I've never judged before, or I'm gonna ascend and drop all judgment, I feel like that's really denying a facet of the human existence that is in human existence to help kind of support where you're at, what might be triggering off. If I'm feeling judgy in the moment, maybe I obviously need to check my body and see what's going on because generally she's just having an emotional outburst. She's like, it's not about you,
Quit making it be about you. That's hilarious.
okay? But yeah, all of that kind of gets interpreted. And then when you're out and about and you're on the screen, how authentic can that be in yourself? Is there still hiding? And naturally, I feel like humans have masks for protection
Yeah,
anyways. I'm not like t trying
yeah.
to take those away because the protectors are there for a good reason. But how much can you be out there in yourself and stay uncomfortable even when you're talking? Like, are you uncomfortable right
No, I'm totally okay. Um, but you know why? Because it's such a safe space because of my friendship with you, because like it's really just you and I chatting, right? We're just like
now?
catching up
Totally.
as friends, you know? And here I'm like picking something out of my mouth. Like there's no pretense, there's no falseness. I mean, I can joke about stuff and I know that I do get nervous. If there were like 10 other people on here with like crazy ass credentials and I'd be like, oh my God, and then there'd be that intimidation factor. But it's
Sure.
so nice to just have conversations with you and just like, because I don't feel judged by you ever. And that's like, I love that. Like, what an amazing, beautiful space to hang out and just have a great conversation. And then to be authentic and real.
Yeah, it's a great space. I appreciate that with you too. That's why we get along.
I know, it's so fun. It really is. And because there is no judgment. I mean, like I'll be judging myself. And so, I'm like, oh, do I look okay? Right. But and like, oh, it's getting hot in here because I'm like inside a house with a scarf on.
Do I want my neck to
I
be
like
seen?
the scarf.
Yeah, no, I kind of just want to put a very grounding note in here for everybody who is wanting to come into visibility or wanting to see themselves a little bit more, just to take a step within yourself and try it out. No matter what happens, understand that you do have yourself, and there are crazy people like us who are out there kind of free balling it.
Right. But here's the thing. It's like I think in order to truly be authentic and be seen, because visibility is like be seen for who you truly are.
Yeah,
I think the first step is to put yourself in a safe environment,
for
right? Like there's no one that's going to be out there that's going to like slam you down or like rip on you or cut you down or say something negative. Like put yourself in a safe space first and foremost, and then try it out in small increments. Like
Sure.
push the
Absolutely.
boundary a little bit. Like we all know where our boundaries are, where it's like, okay, this, but no further. Okay, we'll just go
Yeah,
like to, to use your
yeah,
example, go
absolutely.
5% bigger and see how you feel and expand your bubble, your insulation bubble,
Absolutely.
right? To see if you can be visible just a little bit more because there's always things that we have that we don't share fully with everybody.
Oh, sure. That's definitely a boundary.
Right, right. Like
And
my tarot cards. I don't share that with a lot of people.
well, I love that you do that though for
I love
yourself.
it too. And I feel like I get great answers and feedback and insights and it's amazing, but I don't share it with a lot. Just the internet,
That's
you know.
behind the scenes.
The same to Jen. But
Oh man, how do you feel like visibility has played into kind of like the current energetic shifting?
say that again.
How do you feel like visibility has played into the current energetic shifting?
Oh, how do we feel about that? About the current, okay, so right now it's all about seeing what has been hidden from humanity and from the collective. And
Okay.
it's the things behind the scenes, which I'm just going to say that because that's naturally what comes out of a damn mouth. But it's the stuff in the collective that has been glossed over, has been, propagandized, if that's even a word. Like all of the things in government, all of the things in finance, all of the things in education, all of the things in, structure and, whatever it is, right? That things go on that aren't shown the truth and they're presented with a facade. And so how I feel about that is I want everything exposed. I want things to kind of be what they truly are. Let people make their own choices and judgment based on facts, not manufactured, glossed over, positioned so you are forced to like it. But what's really going on is like not great, right? You would never choose it if you actually really knew. Like, would people actually have chosen the, during the 2020 if they really knew what was in it? They thought they were doing something for their health,
Uh-huh.
but maybe it, maybe the other things were happening. Like, if you really knew what was happening, would you choose that still?
Right.
Because there's a lot that we're choosing right now,
Yep.
but for the wrong reasons because we don't know any better because things have been masked over. And that's a real concern of mine and always has been. And so my long about answer is I am optimistic and hopeful that the collective and humanity gets to actually see the truth and gets to choose from themselves based on the correct information in front of them.
Okay. All right. I like it. And just kind of turning this back in, what do you feel like about your own truth and visibility and pulling that off that needs to be uncovered for you to line up with that?
Girl, I have been digging and clawing and like every time something pops up for me, I'm like, ah, see, you know, um, I tackle it head on. I really, really do. And it's getting easier and easier and funner and funner. Like, I love it when stuff pops up for me now. And it's sort of like, oh my God, that's very uncomfortable for me. And I hate it so much. Then I start to look for what's the pattern behind it, what's the root behind it, and like how do I tackle that? What's the impact that it has in other areas of my life? Like that kind of stuff is fascinating to me.
Oh yeah, that's my juice box.
Yeah. So it's about exposure. I think that's the theme for me is exposure.
Okay, okay.
How do
And
you feel? Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and
I know you're asking about this question, but I want to know how you feel about it.
to take a deep breath. I feel like, for one, sometimes as we're talking about this and we're getting energetic with the collective and things like that, I
Yeah.
want to first like break down collective. Like, what does that mean? It's a word that's been thrown out all over the place. What does that look
Okay.
like? Everybody has a different perspective of what the collective is. I would say for myself, I'm connected to a human race. I'm connected to them. I'm a part of them. I would consider them a collective because I'm a part of them. Uh, just to see what might be moving through the collective would to be for me to be, I'm connected to humanity. I want to see like what's moving through there. How is it affecting me? How am I interacting with it? How am I standing in it? And how do I want to fully be authentic in it? Then the truth for me would be, okay, if I want to line up to having the truth exposed, which I want that too.
Yeah.
Um, how much of my truth can I expose that I'm comfortable with, that I feel like I can be visible with that I can expand that 5% more on a daily basis? So
Hmm.
that my body, and I'm going to go back to the body capacity because I do feel like it is about capacity with truth. If all that is like torn off all at once, like what would be the capacity of my body? And I always take it back to that. I'm like, what would that look like? Well, let me see how many truths that I'm not telling within myself. How much am I not exposing? And then I go, oh, look, I can go like 20% more today. And I'm going to throw myself out there, do something that's feels right and true to me, and then see where the alignment goes. And I've noticed for myself as I've done that and just kind of been watching the collective, I see more and more of those truths popping out, people being more and more open to receive those truths and change, ready to be in that shifting moment.
See, I love that. I love that because that's really what it's all about is humanity being open to seeing something that they didn't see before, and
Right.
can their bodies hold it? Exactly to what we've just been talking about in this
Yes.
conversation. Because
Yep.
if you can't hold it, you reject it.
Yep.
And if we reject it, we stay closed off from our truth of who we are, our history, where we're going as a race, as a human race. And we really need to have sort of, and I think that's what we're moving into is being able to see things in a new way with a fresh perspective, perhaps things that we were so familiar with in the past. And now it's like you're going to have to see it in a new way. And can you handle that? And can we all handle that?
And that's the question I ask myself. I don't know that answer. I'm just working that out in my own body. Just to think like how many times, and I will raise my hand with this, have we judged something that we don't understand?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Probably daily.
I do. Yeah.
How often does that occur? Like it's I mean, ever since I can remember, like I've been scared of, judged, misinterpreted, and then projected onto something that I had really no clue about, right? So that's again stepping back and asking my system, my nervous system, and regulation, can I step back enough to be able to hold my perspective and another person's perspective, and then just not another person, the collective's perspective,
Hmm.
because that's a whole different story. And if you can, and not if you, if taking that back to myself, if I can hold more and more and more of that, then I can feel these shifts, and they're getting easier. And the next time around, I've got to look at myself. I'm like, my God, there's a diamond, right?
Yes.
Grab that diamond. I feel uncomfortable for a second. I'm gonna surrender to that. I'm gonna probably cry, scream, I don't know, punch something. And then I'm going to get back up and go, whew, that was actually really quick. Here's the recalibration of my body. I have more capacity now.
Well, and I love what you're saying is, and this is hope for folks listening to this, that it does get easier as you move through the process. And
Oh,
what could at one point be earth shattering and bring you down to tears and complete breakdown, at some point you can move through that faster and it doesn't bring you to breakdown any longer.
exactly.
And that's where the diamond is made because the diamond is made through heat and through pressure and through force. And when you get there, like that's the good stuff.
Yeah, it's the juice. And then every piece of that you get a look at, it comes back into your system and you get to take a stronger step in your own path, whatever that is for you, whatever leads you in whichever direction. And so I appreciate how, I mean, here goes my visibility. I appreciate deeply in myself how I'm gonna have a crying moment. Oh my God, I never realize that was gonna happen. Very
Proceed.
deeply in myself how challenging it has been in the past to surrender to any of these processes, to myself, to what I've seen, and to keep taking a step, knowing that I actually not knowing anything, like I'm just taking a step here in the dark, and now it's not dark anymore. And that path that was led through that space, that had me down or pounded or whatever the case is now such a deep loving respect that that energy comes into this, and I can move through that pathway really, really quickly into, well, look, I can create now. Who knew that? That's not that hard. And the bodies who are moving through this process are coming along in a way that's like they're coming to sovereignty, right? Essentially, I'm gonna circle that. They're coming to sovereignty, what they feel like is best for them, what they're gonna need, how they're gonna want to eat, how they want to interact with people, how do they want to communicate with people, how they want to be in freedom. And that is the tier point right there because the freedom, if you have freedom in your system, you have freedom to be yourself, you have freedom to connect with others, how much easier is it to receive that truth, the capacity to receive connection, relationship, money, whatever it is that y'all want? How much easier is that? I feel like it's a lot easier.
And I love how your backdrop always reflects your deepest moment in every conversation we have.
Oh, totally.
Because your backdrop is this beautiful waterfall of emotion
Uh-huh.
that has been carved through force and through grit and through experiences and through emotions, and it had to carve that channel through the that majestic rock behind you, which is your strength and your power, and who I see you as being so damn strong and so brilliant. And then but to also have that gentleness of allowing the water and the emotions to flow and to not block it, because it flows gently into this beautiful, calm, serene pool of water right behind you, which is that rush of emotion and then the collection of it. And so what it's saying is like, yes, you can hold it and you can hold it with calmness and peace because it's that rage that flows in, but you can have rage and still catch it with peace and calm.
Totally. Exactly. You got it. I'm like, that is my internal feeling. Well,
Yeah, it really is.
really both can exist, right? I can feel horrifically emotional in one moment and doesn't feel that great, but also I feel liberation, I feel freedom, I feel at peace with that. I feel like with that emotion I can now alchemize. As before, like that emotion was like, I'm gonna be on my face for a while. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't do that anymore, and that's body
No,
capacity.
because you're allowing to go downstream with it too. And you're taking it where the waters are taking you, as opposed to trying to climb upstream or like hang by your nails on that waterfall behind you, going, I think I can pull myself up. And you're like, no, no, you just need to like drop it and, and just land in the pool and float because the water's going to carry you.
For sure. And it does. And I have to say, and this is just for me, at least what I perceive in the reality is everybody has strengths in them. Everybody also has the ability to connect, attract what they want. And I really do truly believe that. And I hope that for everybody. I hope that everybody finds their own pathway and has the ability to deeply love, connect, receive, do things like this.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
we're just in connection and authenticity. And that's where, I'll hold a space for the collective, that there's some of that movement around there too. And even though there's stuff still happening, that a baseline is, yeah, that can happen. And also in curiosity, I can open up these spaces that I never thought were possible.
Yeah. I think the challenge is, what can all of you and what can we do ourselves
For sure.
that's slightly outside your comfort zone, but that you still allow it to be seen and to have it be a part of you and to authentically integrate it into your experience and to allow other people to acknowledge that within you. Like, how can you be just a little bit more visible in your life?
Just a little bit. And we're not, at least for myself, I'm not talking about massive shifts here. I take tiny little steps every single day when I know something is shifting. Sometimes like it hits me a little bit harder, but but I take a tiny little step into how can I fully present myself and all of me today? And if something comes up, how can I step back a little bit, receive what might have happened, not react to it. Because my reaction, and this is a big experimentation with me because I did all kinds of different types and ways of like my body going, okay, I'm not going to react to it. What am I going to do now? The reaction came. I'm totally going to react to it, and
I can feel it. It's coming, I'm reacting.
then uh, into how do I want to present myself? How do I want to be able to speak and communicate with people when I really want to deeply connect with them? Because something's gonna come up, at some point someone might miscommunicate something or it might feel off, and those are generally the points where it's like, no, I really want this. I really want to deeply connect with this person. What am I going to say then? Okay, how can I present this in a way that's like, look, I'm feeling this way. I really, really appreciate our friendship. And also, can we have a little chat about this? And can we grow from it? And those connections are going to get me getting, at least from what I've seen in my own experience, getting stronger and stronger and stronger and opening up to more and more deeper connection because I'm holding myself. And I'm really open to somebody else's perspective. And I want their perspective. That would be boring. If not,
Yeah. But that's about building community. And I think that's what we're all looking for is that build community, having authentic conversations, being able to share authentically from ourselves, because there's things that I'm proud of, there's things you're proud of, there's things, everyone that's watching is proud of themselves. And but they're not seen, they're not visible.
right.
So it's some good things.
It's
Good things
some good
are
things.
lurking around the corner if we just allow it to be expressed.
For sure. Yeah. Well, this is beautiful. That feels like it's headed into a closing.
Yeah, yeah. Any final thoughts from you?
Hmm. I think I'd really just like to ground and say, visibility, and even the word visibility can be like, oh my gosh, right? Is just the truest nature of self. Again, perspective. And every time that true nature gets to walk its own path and see itself, uh, another aspect of self comes back and you get to stand stronger and stronger and stronger. So for everybody who is watching this, who's just kind of in that phase of stepping out or looking for their own path or whatever the case is, just a little encouragement to like, you got this. Keep
Yeah,
diving in, keep going for it, even if that is one tiny step or even 1% of capacity of being visible.
yeah. I love that. Well, what a beautiful way to wrap it all up. Thank you for this chat. I've really loved it.
Or anything else you want to say?
I think it's just the challenge for me to be a little bit more visible and to share who I am within my community a little bit more, and not hide so much and not hide my talents and not feel like, like judgment would ever get in the way of me being my authentic true self. So
Oh, there it is. I
so
love
with
it.
that,
Drop. All right, everybody, we love you so much. If you have any questions, please drop below. And if there's anything you'd like us to dive deeper into, also drop it below. We appreciate you.
sounds good. Until next time, thank you. Bye.